Well, if you think unidentified flying objects or UFOs are just a myth, well, you might want to hear what a man who grew up in Roswell, New Mexico has to say about that.
Jesse Marcel Jr. is just one of the speakers at this weekend's International UFO Symposium right here in Denver, and he says when he was a child, his father showed him pieces of debris from the crash of a flying saucer, and he's written a book all about that crash. And joining us live in our studio this morning is the author himself, Jesse Marcel Jr. Good morning, Jesse.
Good morning.
For coming in.
Well, thanks for having me.
First off, my wife is watching right now. Can you tell her it really was aliens that made me late coming home the other night?
It was, absolutely, yeah. No question about that.
Now, I joke, but this is very serious stuff.
It is, yes.
In general, is there a lot of evidence out there?
Well, it's out there, like you say, but, when I was a child, my dad was an base Air Force intelligence officer, and he was called out to pick up some debris from something that crashed northwest of Roswell, New Mexico. And what he did, he saw that this was not anything usual, but the debris was very, very strange. And he brought it by the house so I could see it on his way back to the airbase. And when I saw the material, it was a very exotic material. There was a lot of foil. There's some beams that had some strange writing on it. And I realized right off the bat this was not anything that I'd ever seen before, nor since.
Now, I've heard that if you crumpled up the foil and you just let it go, it would just reshape back into a flat piece of foil?
Yeah, I understand that, but I didn't do that myself.
Oh, okay.
I just handled it very, very carefully. But other people said it was like a metal with a memory, but I didn't see that.
What do you remember it feeling like?
Almost like a aluminum wrap. It was very light there, very light, and I didn't try to bend it or tear it or do anything to deform it. And it was just like a metal foil.
You also mentioned there were symbols on it. Can you describe those?
Yeah. On the beam itself, there were some strange symbols. The beam itself was about 12 to 18 inches long, and on the inner surface, there was some mathematical symbols, solid figures, not flowers like they say it was, but it was more like geometric forms, and kind of a purple-violet hue, kind of reflected in the light there. And very, very strange.
Your father was a major in the Air Force?
That's correct, yeah.
And was he kept silent about this whole find?
Well, he brought the material into Colonel Blanchard, who was the base commander, who realized, hey, this is something very strange, too. So my dad flew it in a B-29 to Fort Worth Air Force, where General Ramey, the base commander, was there. And when he came back the next day from Fort Worth, he sat my mother and myself down saying, don't ever talk about this again. Of course, here I'm talking about it. But he says, this is a non-event, didn't happen. And that's the way it stayed for years. But I realized there was something very strange about that.
And not only are you talking about it now, you've actually written a book that details all of this.
Yeah, I'm in the process of writing a book right now. It'll be out later this year. So it's something I want to make sure it's totally accurate and correct in every way. So.
Now, does your book or research mention any of the alien bodies that were found or allegedly is supposed to have been found at that crash site?
Well, I didn't see any of that. This is all hearsay as far as I'm concerned. Apparently there was two debris fields. There was a primary debris field where I saw parts of, and then there was another debris field further away that if there was bodies, that's where they were.
Talk a little bit about the meeting that you're going to today and the gathering that you're going to.
Well, it's a UFO gathering of interested people investigating UFO events because they're trying to get enough evidence out there to determine that these are really extraterrestrial craft.
Do other people have stories similar to yours?
Oh, there's a lot of them. Yeah, Russia has the same kind of events that we have too.
Now, real quick, Jesse, a lot of the information regarding Roswell has been declassified. Has that helped you at all?
The trouble is it hasn't been declassified.
It hasn't been?
No, it has
I thought there was a few volumes that have been declassified.
Well, yeah, but there's the Air Force version, and then there's the real version.
I see.
The Air Force version says it was just a mundane object like a weather balloon or a mogul balloon, but I know it wasn't.
Okay. Jesse, thank you so much for coming and joining us this morning. Really appreciate it. And you can hear more about the evidence of the UFOs and UFO crashes during the final day of the International UFO Symposium. It's happening at the Marriott Denver Tech Center starting at 8:30 in the morning. Registration is $50 at the door, and that gets you into hear all 5 speakers today. You can also hear individual speakers for $25 each. And, of course, you'll find more information on today's speakers on the links and information section of CBS4Denver.com. We will have a link up right after 8 o'clock this morning.
Fascinating.
Mm-hmm.